I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there at 22. They'll run with Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
for Mike. I got you. I got you.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the 50, Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Packers have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Broken tackle. And an alley to run. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together, but that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The give to Taylor, and an alley to run. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it Packers. A great play there. 59 yards. And the Packers have retaken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. As we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves, because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about.
On second down, it's Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. He'll look to throw. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Second and 10, Stafford again. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now, 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of it. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Rashawn Gary racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. From just shy of midfield, Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Taylor.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this 1st half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. 2nd quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, So does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Dorsett making the catch. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. In their mind, certainly a field goal try would be a letdown. They had the great starting field position, now facing 3rd down. They'll look to throw, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Calvin Ridley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them close.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw here. And the pressure gets to him again. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York.
Last stop. Last set. 280.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
We want it. Come to my work.
The final shot before the break. Stanford going to take a shot for Gallup. It's caught inside the 25.
Come on now. Let's go.
So we've reached halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They go to the ground again with Taylor. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Let's go, boy. Let's go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Play action. Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again. Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 48. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
They should have known.
Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different
was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
Too many
syllables.
yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford here, coming off his pick 6. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Taco Charlton able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, the left side throw complete to Adams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 2nd and 9 now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Joshua Jackson there to knock that one away.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
It's Kelsey on the ground. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Stafford throwing right, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Stafford now to throw. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Adams.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 22, and they will take over at at the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Taylor. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, here's Stafford. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Stafford now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Lady! Mike forward. Check the out. Check the out.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Taylor, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Taylor, and he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
54 miles. It's been a long day for you.
On 1st down, Taylor. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far, first and 10. They're going to look to throw. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
That's how we do it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Out of the gun now on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Now Taylor. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be third down. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Here's Taylor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They run with Taylor. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Hey, watch the slant.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
4 down, 4 down.
Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the